This lesson is all about adverbs of degree. So adverbs of degree answer the question, to what extent? So they tell us about the intensity or extent of something. And adverbs of degree also tell us about the completeness of something. And they're usually placed before the item that is modified. And we'll see plenty of examples showing this. And please do not confuse adverbs of degree with adverbs of manner. And lastly, very is a commonly used adverb of degree that can usually be replaced with a better word. This is maybe a topic for more advanced students. Now, there are many adverbs of degree, and they can be sort of ordered. So this rather large table gives you a list of 11 adverbs of degree, ranging from absolutely at the highest intensity to scarcely at the lowest intensity. And there's a list in order going from highest down to lowest, with some examples as well. So maybe you might want to pause the video and just check the examples for yourself. But here's the thing. It's very difficult to objectively attach meaning to these adverbs of degree. It's a very subjective area. And one person might say, but hardly is less than barely. Well, I've put here barely being less than hardly. But the order is kind of accepted by most people. So quite is less intense than largely, and largely to mostly to extremely, and so on. But it's very difficult to attach sort of a number to this. And what we see here is that all these adverbs of degree are very subjective in the way that they're used. So it's worth just bearing in mind when we look at our examples. So adverbs of degree tell us about the intensity of something. So in winter, it is extremely cold here. It's not just cold, it's like really extremely cold. It's very cold. Or the boss strongly criticized the project manager. So the poor project manager wasn't just criticized by the boss, he was strongly criticized, which kind of makes it worse for him or her. Or Jane thinks her new boyfriend is absolutely wonderful. So she thinks the world of him. Now these three examples show how something can be made more intense, but we can also use adverbs of degree to reduce the intensity. So Peter paid little attention during the meeting. The food in the canteen is quite nice. It's kind of okay. It's not amazing. It's only quite nice. It sort of reduces the positive statement a bit. And I'm not entirely convinced by your argument, which means, again, it's being used to sort of reduce the expression that is being said. And adverbs of degree also tell us about the completeness of something. So Anne has completely finished her report. So all done, nothing left to do. Jim has almost finished his report. So not much left. Mandy has partly finished her report. Again, we don't know how far. It could be 50%, it could be anything really between 30 and 70, again, subjective. And Bob just started on his report yesterday, so he's really like 10%, that sort of thing. So there we see 4 different examples showing degrees of completeness. Now please don't confuse adverbs of degree with adverbs of manner. And for more information on adverbs of manner, please check out the lesson on that topic. He speaks Dutch fairly fluently. The police treated him fairly. Now, both of these are adverbs, but they're used in different ways. So as we said earlier, adverbs of degree answer the question, how much? So we're talking about how much or how fluently he speaks Dutch. And it's fairly fluently. Now, as you'll learn in the adverbs of manner, that answers the question, how? So how did the police treat him? They treated him fairly. And let's look at one more example quickly. I'm terribly sorry. I was terribly sorry. I really am very, very sorry. Or Paul explained the problem terribly. So in the first example, the I'm terribly sorry is showing to the degree to which he is sorry, how sorry he is. Whereas in the second one, it's an adverb of manner, where it's explaining how he explained the problem. In other words, not very well. And we come on now to a bit of an advanced topic. So beginners will often use the word very to intensify something. And you can usually replace that with a better word. And we'll have a look at some examples of that now. So Peter ran quickly to the other end of the pitch. Now, if we want to say he ran very quickly to the other end of the pitch, we can actually replace it with Peter sprinted to the other end of the pitch. And this is a better word. It describes what he did more succinctly, more briefly. Or after the marathon race, John was tired. Obviously, it's a marathon race, so in order to make it more intense, we say John was very tired. But there is a better word that we can use for very tired. We can say after the marathon race, John was exhausted. And one more example. I'm on a diet and I'm hungry. So if we want to intensify it, we say I'm on a diet and I'm very hungry. Which again is perfect. All these veries are perfectly legitimate. But if we want to improve our English and make better use of the words, we could say I'm on a diet and I'm famished.